This program is a production of the Panoply Network, a subsidiary of Pizza Plea Media.
Welcome to Whatever Happened to Pizza at McDonald's, the investigative journalism program where I ask the question, whatever happened to the pizza at McDonald's? I'm your host, Brian Thompson. Misinformation. Anyone who has been trying to follow the news in recent years either knows misinformation has run rampant or does not know how to tell the difference between fact and fiction, and therefore most likely has a difficult time relaxing on a cruise for fear that the boat might fall over the edge of the earth. Perhaps the most insidious misinformation of all is misinformation related to McDonald's pizza. As longtime listeners know, I am considered the world's foremost expert on McDonald's pizza, its history, its present, its future, and its impact on our culture, our consciousness, and both our physical and spiritual lives. As such, it is with great displeasure that I find myself often bristling at the flagrant falsehoods about McDonald's pizza I see posted online almost daily. I am reminded of the plight of the great fictional character, the Superman, who is both blessed and cursed with super hearing. It is a blessing because he has no trouble eavesdropping on the entertainingly eccentric conversations of his neighbors. But it is also a curse because he is capable of hearing distressing things like people all over the metropolis of Metropolis grunting and groaning as they struggle with bathroom issues. I am similarly both blessed and cursed. To my great benefit, I know that McDonald's truly did serve pizza in the early to mid-1990s. But I am cursed to know that despite how often people post in delight that McDonald's still serves pizza at a location in Orlando, Florida, said pizza is not original recipe and is therefore to be considered non-canon. How often do people post such misinformation? Well, for perspective, if I had a nickel for every time someone messaged me to ask if I have heard about this fake pizza, I could not sneak to my corner bodega for a late-night bag of Pirate's Booty aged cheddar puff snacks without awaking my neighbors from my bulging pants pockets' raucous nickel jingling. Would that this misinformation ended at just this novelty truck stop McDonald's and its false brick oven pies. I am also regularly inundated with claims that McDonald's pizza and McPizza were one and the same, even though McDonald's pizza was actual pizza and McPizza was a Hot Pocket-style hand pie stuffed with pizza-like ingredients. And then, there is perhaps the most egregious piece of oft-repeated McDonald's pizza-related misinformation of all. That is, the claim that I am not really an investigative journalist. Major media outlets have attempted to combat the spread of misinformation by assigning reporters to cover this very beat. After browsing some of their social media accounts, I believe that many of these were chosen because they were already afflicted with whatever personality disorder compels a person to post online dozens and dozens of times each day. But I simply do not have the time to cover the McDonald's pizza misinformation beat, and I do not have the financial resources to hire another journalist with a personality disorder to do so. However, I do have the financial resources to hire the next best thing: an unpaid intern. New York City is home to some of the finest educational institutions in the United States, many of which have robust journalism programs full of eager young information gatherers. Due to a loophole in child labor laws, it is fully legal for an institution to hire these students at no pay whatsoever to give them the valuable real-world experience they will need to pay off their many thousands of dollars in student loan debt. I decided to take advantage of this situation and contact one of Manhattan's finest colleges, Manhattan College, to see if someone from their journalism program might be able to help me ensure, among other things, that the public is not suckered into buying a non-canon McDonald's pizza.
Manhattan College.
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson. I'm the CEO of a media company called Panoply, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizza Plea Media. I was trying to figure out how I might be able to obtain some unpaid interns from your journalism department.
Hold on, please. Manhattan.edu. Creative Development, how can I help you?
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson. I'm the CEO of a media company called Panoply, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizza Plea Media. I was calling to see how I might go about obtaining an unpaid intern, preferably from your journalism department.
Okay. Let me just think how we would suggest you do that. Well, first you have to post a position, and we use Handshake.
Handshake?
Handshake. So what you can do is you can send an email to careerdevelopment@manhattan.edu, and we'll forward it to the person that will review the email and then see what would be the next step for you to take as far as getting an intern.
Man, I'm sorry, I'm just writing down this email address.
That's okay. It's career development, all lowercase, all together, at manhattan.edu.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Thankfully, my pen didn't run out of ink. So I just before I go, I was just wondering. I've seen in the news there's lots of activity around labor rights and people going on strike, et cetera, across all manner of businesses and institutions. I am a bit concerned about this concerning my unpaid intern. Do you think there's a possibility that an unpaid intern might sort of petition for lack of a better word, pay at any point?
Well, let me explain something. So we have it where the student, let's say you have an internship. You pick this, you post the internship, students apply, and you decide who, you pick, they'll send your resume, you decide who you want to pick. The student can do it for credit. Okay. But it would have to be something that he would have to get, or she would have to get a faculty advisor. And the faculty advisor, they would review the internship and how it relates to their major.
I see.
And then they can actually do it for credit. We have a lot of students that do internships for credit and not for pay.
Okay. And what is the monetary value of the credit?
I don't even know. I don't even know what that would be like for a course. So it's up there, but it wouldn't cost. It would fall into the student's semester.
Okay, well, I'm looking for an intern to help me with the misinformation beat, a journalism student who would be good at sussing out misinformation and maybe writing up an article or two, or perhaps just some copy for an audio entertainment host to read about said misinformation. So I'm looking for someone very sharp and someone who has, and I do not mean to be crass or crude, but someone who has a good bull poop detector. Do you think that your student body would provide somebody of this caliber?
I'm sure we have a very good communication department here. So I would think definitely you'd be able to get somebody to fit that, as long as the faculty feel that it's something that's good enough for the student to fulfill a requirement. Okay,
great. Well, this is very, very helpful.
You're very welcome.
I'm sorry. What was that email address? The ink wasn't dry. I smeared it.
Career Development, all together, all lowercase, like one word, at @manhattan.edu.
@edu. Okay, I will be careful not to smear it this time. Well, thank you very much for your candor and your help.
You're very welcome. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye. Before pursuing the matter any further, I thought it prudent to do my due diligence and Google.com search the specific rules for what an unpaid intern is and is not allowed to do. For example, if it were a particularly slow news day on the McDonald's pizza misinformation front, would it be legal for me to ask my intern to sneak to the bodega for some pirate's booty? To my dismay, I came across the following passage on LegalZoom.com. Quote, unpaid interns have sued even big corporations like Viacom and Universal Music Group. To avoid legal action, an unpaid internship must meet the following criteria as established by the Fair Labor Standards Act. Number 1, the internship, even though it includes actual operations of the facilities of the employer, is similar to training that would be given in an educational environment. Number 2, the internship experience is for the benefit of the intern. Number 3, the intern does not displace regular employees, but works under the close supervision of existing staff. Number 4, the employer that provides the training derives no immediate advantage from the activities of the intern, and, on occasion, its operations may actually be impeded. Unquote. While none of my plans for my unpaid misinformation intern would run afoul of most of these criteria, I was somewhat concerned about the provision that I would not be allowed to derive any immediate advantage from my intern's activities. In fact, it was my full intention that my new intern would instantly provide me with at least one advantage in particular. That is, not having to waste time telling people that yes, I have tried the pizza in Orlando, yes, it is fairly good for the price, and no, it is not original recipe. Cowed by the potential legal pitfalls of running an unpaid internship program, I almost resigned myself to abandoning the project once and for all. But then I had a thought. Just like New York City is home to several excellent educational institutions, so too is it home to several legacy media outlets with greater resources than mine. I thought it likely that one of these outlets would allow a colleague like myself to take advantage of their existing internship program on a temporary basis. In fact, such an arrangement would be a classic win-win scenario. They would win by helping a fellow journalist in need, and I would win by using unpaid labor without assuming any of the legal liability. With this quid pro quo in mind, I contacted my colleagues at one of the area's oldest local newspapers.
Thank you for calling the New York Times. Operator.
Hello, my name is Brian Thompson. I'm the CEO of a media company called Panoply, which is a wholly owned subsidiary of Pizza Plea Media. I was calling because I am in search of an unpaid journalism intern, and I was wondering if I might borrow one from the New York Times.
We don't have any type of arrangement like that, sir.
Oh, really? Is there a reason why not? Hello? 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 Gosh darn it! Do you know what happened to pizza at McDonald's? Do you remember it? Please send all correspondence to pizza@mcdonalds@gmail.com. To support the show, please join my Patreon at patreon.com/pizza@mcd's for exclusive benefits. And for more information, including links to social media, merchandise opportunities, etc., visit pizza@mcdonalds.com. Thank you to my invaluable Patreon producers: Trisha Yates, Adam Crump, Dan Dreyer, Bipolar Biped, Grant Bacon, Jacob Ford, Joe Kajik, Kimberly King, Kyle Tarak, Thomas Young, Pam Gabriel, Polly Egan, Will, Andrew Duffy, Andrew Ahmed Rubin, Billy Jean, Brad Allen Thompson, Gerald Lewis, Jay Poop, Calvin Thomas, Can You Fly Bobby, Laurel Paul, Mel, Mitchell Kordick, Opus Moreski, Paul Fu, and Ryan Guggenmoss. I'm Brian Thompson, investigative journalist.